Hey guys, Wild Lowman here. We're going to do floor 3 again. I just want to give some tips to people about the RNG and um, how it's set up. So basically, the game is very RNG, extremely. Like, this is a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning, even with the best setup, depending on your RNG. Like, my RNG is literally turned down to be the worst in the game, in my opinion, at this point. So the thing is this: you can tell within the first few turns if you're going to be able to complete the stage or not, and that'll be shown very easily here. If you don't get a taunt stance on the very first turn, you're not, before turn 5, you're not going to win. Also, if you're not able to either get a stance cancel or able to rush Melly's ult within turn 3, you're not going to win. Now, normally you can burn that card, but my RNG for buff cards has been so bad that I hold on to it merely for the fact that I need the buff card. Okay, so now they're going to start giving me good buff cards. So this is the kind of RNG that you want, and yet you don't. And the reason for that being is, you're going to see right here, I'm going to run into a big problem if I do not get a stance. Because right now, my team is not strong enough to handle this ult because I haven't been able to build up the passive. So what we got to do is taunt, alt, and then you have to try to move this card to try to get a merge. If you don't get a merge here, just exit the run, because it's that bad. The RNG is literally that bad. Okay, so we got really lucky here. Now, as you can see, you have to take this ult. So the best way to do this run is to cancel the stance, heal at this point, and then merge this so that next turn you can try to heal up. Okay, so we use this for Elizabeth here. The best way to do this at this point is to alt and try to get enough healing back with the defense buff to maybe win. Honestly, majority of the time, I'm going to be honest, I probably would have reset this run already, because RNG wise, you can't win. It's very hard at this point, because 9 out of 10 times your Elizabeth is going to die because you can't build up enough passive. And as you guys can see, she's going to get trashed. So we'll try it again. What I'll do is I'll keep recording. Hopefully I'll get an ultimate run where I can go to the next phase and show you. I've done this fight over 100 times. I've made it to round 3 twice because of RNG. And again, it's not because I can't get to that point. It's not like my team is not strong enough or whatnot. It's been simply RNG, period. So again, you got to try to rush Elizabeth's alt for turn 2, or turn 3, I'm sorry. This is a little unfortunate. The good news is we do have the stance cancel, so we don't have to worry about trying to rush Melly's alt. Again, if you get 2 melee cards, hopefully it's the Pierce. Most of the time for me it is a single target. And again, you want to keep the buff card, because if you do not get a buff card, if you don't get a stance or a buff card before turn 5, you pretty much might as well scrap the run. Because as you can see, it hits really, really hard in this first phase. So we're going to do this. We'll do this since I'm going to get her 4th. We'll do this just for better merging. We're going to heal. And I normally wouldn't do this, but we're going to burn this for another melee passive. So they're being really, really nice to us today, or this run. They're actually being very, very nice. Minus the fact that we're not getting Pierce cards, obviously, but it is what it is. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's only 1 attack, so we will move that card. This has been my best RNG in about 3 hours. So okay. So I'm honestly not sure if actually we should be okay to handle 2 attacks. Maybe. So we're going to rush Elizabeth's alt. Still going to keep her card. Okay, now since we didn't get an alt card, we are going to use Deanne's alt. Merge Melly for card draw. Passives at 2. I really want to try to maximize card draw. We'll move this and we'll wait for right now. Now we're at a point where we can stall a little bit, so it's not too bad. Alright, Melly alt. Elizabeth alt. Ooh, actually, yes, I'm sorry. Melly alt, Elizabeth alt. We're going to do this. And believe it or not, we're going to move her card this way in case we don't get another one. So that maximized our draw a little bit better. we still have stance cancel, and that's why I'm keeping those separate. Okay, so far we're still looking really, really good, which is surprising. We are going to have to try to get better card draw for... Okay, so we're going to merge for her alt. I really want to try for that second, but I want to save those. I want to save this for an alt. We'll move that. And we'll do this so we can use Freyr's alt later, because we're going to run out of card draw here. And the reason I planned it that way is, as you can see, he hits like a truck. So we're going to do this. This will attack seal us, unfortunately. We're going to alt with Freyr. We're going to alt with her. This will build up another passive. This will stop the alt, though. We'll have Melly's alt and Deanne's alt to heal next turn. And do that. It's very RNG. Like, very. Like, for me, it's 1 in 1,000 that I can actually pass this. Okay. We need to maximize card draw, unfortunately. So, we're going to do this. We'll do this. We're going to do this. And this, in case I don't get another card for her to rush alt. And that's the biggest thing, is the RNG, whether you're getting cards or not, for like an even spread. Most of the time you're not. As you can see, this spread is horrible. And we are going to be lucky if we can survive all 3 attacks. I'm automatically got it in my head that I believe this is going to be a failed run. My Freyr's and yeah, see, this is a failed run, because you cannot get an equal card draw all the way across. It's like so RNG to the point that don't even waste your time with this, guys. I'm making this video so a lot of people do not waste their time. Because this, I have literally done this in the last 2 weeks, maybe I'd say at least 120 hours on this fight since it came out, and I cannot beat floor 3. But I want to help everybody else out, so I'm going to make this video for people to watch and understand why you got to do these things. Because sometimes you can be aggressive, but for the majority of this fight, you have to be extremely conservative. Extremely. Okay, so we got a stance cancel, which is actually pretty good. And again, you have to hold on to one of these cards, buff stance. Like I said, I'm not expecting to beat this, but I just want to show, I'm trying to get to floor 1, and then when I get to floor 2, I'll explain again. If you're going to have bad RNG, you can tell right away. Like within the first 5 turns, you can tell. Okay, so this is kind of beneficial. So we're gonna alt, we're gonna use her debuff, we're gonna stop his alt, and then we're gonna double up a Freyr for another stack. Yeah, I want people to learn when to not waste their time. Oh my god. So I'm actually going to alt first because I want to get that out of the way. Actually, you know what? No, we don't want to do that yet. I want to save that for next turn. Alt, stance, cancel. Use a melee card, and then burn this. And again, I probably won't even survive this. I don't think. No, won't survive it. You have to get the good RNG, which I can never get, like, ever. Again, I've stopped doing Guild Wars. I've stopped doing endgame stuff because my account RNG is so bad. I'll do this a few more times, guys. And the reason I put this card in here first is just in case I get a merge. You want to use between alts and this card here, you want to use it at least 10 times. So okay, so we're actually in really, really good shape here for this first run, for this first setup, because we do this to build up the stack, and then we get Elizabeth's alt. This setup, I've seen twice. But again, you still need the tier 3 Pierce card, so you have to be patient as well. And see, this run is going to fail. I can tell that right now because of the RNG, but I'm going to let it play out. I will let it play out for you. I'm going to do this. To hold on to a buff card so I can at least stance. At least debuff disable. So in case I don't get a stance, which I don't think, I'll think I might get 1 or 2. Maybe before the end of the round. I'm getting too many Elizabeth cards. So that means the RNG is not going to give me any DN cards pretty much for the rest of this run. That's how that works, okay? So we're going to have to eat this alt. I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to save that card. We'll merge 1, 2, and set that up, I guess. Yeah, like I said, this is a failed run. And like I said, you can predict within the first 5 turns whether you're going to win or not, or at least get by the first stage. I really wanted to show. I really wanted to show a successful first stage, and then show you how you can tell if the second stage is going to be successful or not. But obviously, as you can see with the wonderful RNG I get, that's probably not going to happen. So, um, and if I don't get another buff or stance by next turn, those are the cards that I will not get. You'll see what I mean. At this point, I can already tell the buff and stance cards I'm not going to get because my RNG is turned down too much. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see if my prediction is correct. I don't think I'm going to win this run, even this early, because of RNG. But we'll see. I'm going to try to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think so. All right, so we're going to do this, 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 and this. And as you can see, we're not getting any Meliodas cards at all. At all. At all, at all. So, it'll take me a lot longer. It's going to take me a lot longer. This will take me a half hour if, and that's big if, this run is successful. It's going to take me at least a half hour. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video now. After this, because I'm going to go for another full run without Meliodas cards. Like, this whole thing will be no Meliodas cards because that's my RNG right now. Oh, I got one. So this will take me about half an hour. So I'm going to pause it here. This run is actually still doable at this point. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll come back if I hit phase 2. And if not, if the video ends here, then that means I failed. And I'm going to go do gold farming because it's a better it's a better spend of my stamina. So we'll see. If I don't see you, have fun. And if I do see you, we'll see.